Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. Today we're going to focus on the work of an author who's curious about, many of the things he'd been told about Jesus. It's about an author striving to understand and clarify many of the things within the New Testament, things that seem to contradict one another. And he found that there are in fact no contradictions within the four texts of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Peter Boaz Jones set out on a journey to discover the truth, and he discovered that the so-called contradictions actually complement each other rather than conflict. And he discovered all of this and a lot more while combining these four Gospels into one.
This particular formulation of the four Gospels into one complete whole, with the given explanations of the text in question, including a complete scripture graph, is an attempt to give the answers to the age-old problem of the natural synchronization of the successive events in the four Gospels without any of the so-called contradictions, thus producing an entirely new work for those who are seeking answers to some of the seemingly perplexed, anomalous questions that people interested in this field have halted at. Consequently, and hopefully, therefore, it will give the subject the proper credence it had from its original conception when these miraculous events were first written down. Moreover, it will create one natural flowing gospel in combining the four, but at the same time not taking anything away from the importance of the individuality of each of the authors and their separate books.
That's Peter, and he's reading a summary from the back of his book, The Gospel of the Four, a unique conflation of the four Gospels into a single continuous narrative, explicated by the author's commentary. That's the full title. I know, it's a long title. The Gospel of the Four, a unique conflation of the four Gospels into a single continuous narrative, explicated by the author's commentary. I enjoy authors like Peter. They're driven by their inner curiosity, and they also have a healthy dose of skepticism. It drives them to find objective answers.
My parents were quite religious. Some of the things they said and I didn't always agree with, and I started checking up on things then. I don't want to knock one, religion against another one, because they've all got truth. But I was just interested in some of the things they were saying.
And one of the things he discovered is something that you may have already known. Christianity stems from Judaism. And while Christianity eventually developed its own distinct beliefs and practices, such as the belief in the Trinity, salvation through Jesus, its roots are firmly embedded in the Jewish tradition.
Understanding the Old Testament properly is paramount to understanding the New. One can understand the New Testament without the Old Testament in one way, but if one's a Christian, one has to recognize that it's all based on Judaism. Without Judaism, there wouldn't be no Christianity. Of course, a lot of people wish it didn't, that's basically the truth,
His book is a very detailed work, and it's written in a way that's easy to follow, which makes it great for all kinds of readers, whether they're scholarly or just curious Christians like myself. Even if you don't agree with all of his conclusions, the book will still help you to discover new truths. To put it very simply, it's written for anyone looking for answers.
Well, basically, for people who are interested in this subject, I feel that people who are interested in it are people who study. And in this sense, the book is a study aid. It's a reference work to keep going back to keep checking. And that's basically what I want people to do, is to check on some of the things that, some of the stories are going around about, that have gone around years about Jesus' miracles and the text. A lot of, even scholars say a lot of the texts contradict each other. When on closer examination, you find that they don't. They only enhance each other. So that's what I want the reader to understand, that it's a miraculous. The Gospels put together, even by the authors themselves, is a miraculous thing that happened. And still now, one can grasp that through my book. And that's really what I want people to take away from it.
The Gospel of the Four by Peter Boaz Jones. It's a very unique work and an award-winning book. It won the 2023 Christian Book Award Contest and the 2023 New York Book Festival Award. So congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
This unique, award-winning work of nonfiction combines all four Gospels into one cohesive text, which makes it easy if you're trying to grasp the true context of many of Jesus' sayings and parables. His approach makes it a great resource for students, scholars, or really anyone curious about Jesus and Christianity. It's available now at Amazon.com or pretty much wherever you like to buy books, and we've put a link to some of them, including the author's Facebook page, in the show's description. And that will do it for this edition of Newsgram from WebTalkRadio.com.